The Breakfast in Tijuana Heist is one of the DLCs released on the Family Matters update, and it's available as a bundle for $9.99 USD or by itself for $6.99 USD. So if you want any of the other DLCs, Color Pack 2 or Fugitive's Weapon Pack, it's obviously better to buy the bundle because it's going to get you one free DLC. But if you just want one of these DLCs and are figuring out what's worth it, this video is gonna give you a little bit more information what I think about the heist personally, from both stealth and loud. So let's get right into it. So as I said, this heist can be played both stealth and loud. And it's been about a week since the DLC released now, so I've had a few chances to play the heist properly in both stealth and loud, and I have a better chance, well, not a better chance, but better understanding of how the heist works and so on. I can give you a little bit more than just my first impressions. So objectives wise, there isn't really too much difference between stealth and loud. If you play loud, you have to burn some objectives, evidence, instead of destroying it fast way in toilets, shredding machines and so on, so it takes a little bit longer. And while this is burning in the loud version, you have to cover it from sprinklers, from shutting down, and police officers can also shut it down. Then there's also waiting for a helicopter because you can't escape via car if the heist is loud. But other than that, the objectives are mostly the same. Get some evidence, destroy evidence, find out where our friend is, Haryudin, however you pronounce his name, Flat's brother-in-law or sister-in-law, I can't even remember who this character is, and escort him out, get some car keys and escape. So objective wise, this heist is really simple, and it's not a long heist. I think first time around I beat it in stealth, one down, dead sentence. It was like 12 minutes or something like that, and even then there's a little bit of waiting for cops to move because as per usual in Payday 2 stealth, you need to have a little bit of patience because sometimes the enemies just stay in one place for like 20 seconds and that can add a lot of time. But I think this heist can be beaten quite fast, and I think speedruns are quite a bit faster already without even different routes or anything like that. And it's not a hard heist, not in stealth or not in loud. Actually, the first time I tried to complete it in stealth, I failed, and I was able to solo dead sentence one down this with my solo build. Yes, bots were there to help me, but still I had absolutely no firepower and my health was really shitty, and obviously no health packs to be found, so it was a little bit tough to manage attaching those wires to the escape car. But as I said, this is not a big heist. I think out of the 3 new DLCs, it ranks the second. I think Border Crossing is still the worst out of these 3. And San Martin Bank heist was a little bit better than this one, but both are, I think, quite similar. They are tight maps, look pretty good. This runs actually better than the previous 2 DLCs. I'm not sure what Overkill has done, but I had way less frame rate issues than the previous DLCs, even with the decent PC, and I've heard the same from many others. So as I've said, it's a short heist. There's not a lot of difference in the RNG. Like, most of the objectives you can get are the same thing, just in a different room. If you have to destroy the evidence in stealth, it can be in few different rooms, but time wise it doesn't really make a difference. So there's not a lot of replay value in the sense that there's not a lot of different things you can do. It's always the same heist. Whether you think that's a good thing or not, it's up to you. I'm fine with that. I've played all the heists so many times. All of them are the same thing over and over again for me because I've done the different routes, different strategies so many times over and over again. But starting from here, Breakfast in Tijuana starts off with, I'd say, a little bit weak point because there's not a lot of RNG involved in the plans. If you know what to do, the heist is fun. I think it's a decent heist first time around, which is a problem with many Payday heists. If you don't know what you're searching for, it can it can take a while. So if you're looking for something to light up the fire, burn the evidence, you need to find flammable liquid, and for some reason this tequila bottle you can find in one of the offices is not good enough, and you have to find a specific bottle of flammable liquid, which if you don't know where it's located can take a while. I mean, you can use your common sense and find them quite easily. Where might flammable liquid be? Maybe it's in a storage room. Where might clothing be? Most likely in a locker room, and so on. So they are not really hard, but for someone who's playing the heist for the first time, it might take a little bit longer to find those items because they are not really marked on your map, or log doesn't say where they are located. So I don't know if log has a voice line for saying like maybe check out the locker room if it takes too long or anything like that. That was more of a Bane impression. So for first time players, I think Payday has this problem where if you don't know the objectives, it can be a little bit frustrating, a little bit unfun, but once you know what you're supposed to do, it becomes more fun. And that's the thing with Breakfast in Tijuana as well. Once you know what you're supposed to do, it's a quite simple but fun heist, which doesn't reinvent the wheel. There's nothing really new here, and I think Overkill is playing it safe with these new heists, trying to make something that doesn't do anything too well, but nothing terrible either. It's definitely better than Border Crossing Heist in my opinion. The recycling part of Border Crossing was too much, and I think both San Martin and Breakfast in Tijuana are something along the lines we are supposed to expect from the next DLCs as well. Simple one-day missions which are not huge but offer some replay value, and I think this is fine. I think these mid-size heists are a good chunk of new content, and I actually prefer these to too long heists, and sometimes it's really fun to do a quick 10-minute mission instead of 30 minutes of back moving. And there's not a lot of back moving here. There's some extra loot you can get, but it's obviously not necessary. You can get some achievements that way. You can unlock some colors for free if you don't want color pack 2 by doing some achievements, which is always nice. But there's just something about this heist that makes it too easy. Some heists have little to no cover, but this heist has so much cover it's trivial on Death Sentence 1 Down, even if you're not that used to that difficulty. So maybe some difficulty adjustments need to be made to this heist to make it a little bit of challenge, because for some hardcore players who only play Death Sentence and find the challenge trivial or just want the challenge, this heist is not going to provide them with any, and thus it's most likely not going to be played by those hardcore players. Obviously hardcore players are not the main audience, and you have to cater to new audience as well, and I think this is good starter heist for Payday 2 players. It's not too hard, there's a lots of cover, lots of good choke points where you can place medic bags and so on, defend your positions, lots of inside areas and not a lot of outside areas. Only the ending is outside really, if you really want to stay out there. Other times that's up to you, but at this point I think this is a decent heist. If you want to purchase it now, that's because you want to play it right now, or you want to support Overkill in order to fund the future of Payday franchise and hopefully Payday 3 whenever that's coming in 2 years or 3 years, who knows. So for other players who are not exactly sure if this is going to be worth the $6.99, I'd say this is a little bit light on the content. There's not terribly a lot of free play value. It's a good heist, but it's a little bit on the simpler side, so I'd say wait for a sale if you don't necessarily want it right now. Or if you want it right now buy the bundle, because the color packs and the weapon pack by itself might not be worth it, but with the bundle obviously worth it. So that's just my thoughts about this. Worth it in a bundle. If you want to purchase straight away to support Overkill, do so. Otherwise wait for a sale, maybe buy it 50% off. That's a good price, might take a while, so that's why the bundle option is great. It saves you money and you can get to heisting straight away. And obviously with Payday 2 it's always great, you can play heists if the host owns them, so just join someone who owns this, see if you want it, and make your own decision then. I think it's fine heist, maybe needs a little more replay value, but there's nothing really wrong with it, so wait for a sale or buy the bundle, that's my opinion. What do you guys think about this? Do you think it's better than Border Crossing? Do you think San Martin is the best out of these 3 new DLC heists? And where does this rank among your heist list? I think this is around the middle part. It's not one of the worst heists, but it doesn't do anything special, so it's around the middle. Maybe a little bit goes towards the bottom part, because there's so many good heists in Payday 2, but we shall see where this ranks amongst other players. Hope you guys are all having a good day. I'll see you next time. Master Indigo signing out.